Welcome back. In the last episode of our winter and spring scrub up, we actually got busy with pressure washing the boat, met up with Richard and Lisa, drunk a little bit of Prosecco, had something to eat, and then went to visit a mill that was closed, as you remember. But in this episode, I'm going to take the cleaning just a little bit further and start polishing the boat itself. I've also got a couple of other little jobs that I want to do, and we'll have a look at those and talk about what the plan is for Friday night going forward this year, because some substantial maintenance does have to be done. What a beautiful blue sky day here at the marina. Time to get some polishing done. Just have a quick talk through some of the products that I use here, because it's only a light touch up and polish. As you can see, this is last year's shine. It doesn't need an awful lot to bring it back to full gleaming glory. I'm just using a very light cutting polish and wax that's on a separate wheel, and then once I've wiped that off with a damp cloth, I'm giving it a coat of marine polish as a flat polish on the machine polisher, and just buffing that off by hand, and then topping off with a light buffing with the lamb's wool bonnet. What I do always afterwards is then I hand polish and hand wipe off as well. I may give it a quick buff at a very low speed with the lamb's wool bonnet, but those are the two main products I use. I have done for several years, and as you can see, even after just washing the boat, this is still the finish I have from last year. So it hasn't been polished for, must be nearly a year now, so it does hold its shine. One thing I am going to do, because there isn't a boat beside me at the moment, is to make sure I've got my life jacket on, because I know if anybody's going to take a step backward off this pontoon and go in the water, it's going to be me. So life jacket's going on. In recent years, I've just used my electric drill with a polishing attachment on the end of it to get the cutting paste into the fiberglass. However, it's a real annoyance because I keep having to change pads all the time, and also I have got a big buffer with a lamb's wool bonnet on it as well, but there's a lot of work in between. So I spent £40 on this, which is a Chinese imported polishing drill, and the reason I bought this particular model is because it's got this thread on here. It came with loads of things like a backing pad and some cheap foam applicators and a few lamb's wool bonnets, as well as sandpaper. I don't want that at all. Two, as described, super power, really good battery, 26 volt lithium ion. I'm going to keep those in the shed. I'm not going to take them in my house. Seems to be a very standard kind of fit, and when I tested it, it is a fairly controlled spin. Now, the main reason I bought this one above any other is this, the thread. I'm not convinced that the backing plate and these cheap applicators are good. However, a good quality applicator has the same thread, and that will allow me to get the polish and the cutting paste on pretty well. It's cost me £40. I'll give it a quick review. It comes with a second battery, so I can have one on charge whilst I'm using it as well. Hasn't got the cable that I've got with the big buffer. So let's give it a go, hey? I've taken the opportunity to turn the boat around on the moorings. My neighbour has moved out, and you can see it's a lot more dirty on this side. Little stress crack here has really picked up the green. We didn't get a chance to clean that out with the pressure washer. And the other thing is, because I'm working on a mooring with nothing beside me, life jackets are on. That's a given. Let's see if we can get some of this green off here. It is grubby. Green in there. It's green everywhere this year. I got most of it off when I was pressure washing, but this is the side of the boat that's difficult to get to, and there really is a lot of green. You can really see where it's ingrained. That green is just everywhere. Little stress crack there that's got the green in it, green in here, and this is what we were contending with when I was pressure washing the boat. I've got most of it off, but you can see this piece of canopy's escaped the cleaning. Look at that, yuck. However, I managed to get to most of it, so there's only little patches that are missed. So a little bit of work with a cloth. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so I think I've probably got an hour and a half. If I can just get this side roughly polished today, that'll just leave the top sides, the bottom of the boat, which we'll do when it comes out of the water, and the bow, which I'll do when it comes out of the water as well. Let's get this boat in as close as we can. There's a new stress crack there. I think this is where we got hit last year. I suspected we got hit, but I couldn't actually find the place we got hit. And it was either here or it was here, because I don't recall this stress crack being here before. And I even worried that this could have been from one of our neighbours, and it was more likely when we're out and about on the river and away from the boat. We tend to moor starboard side too, so quite often this is the side that's exposed to the wild west of the Broads. Yeah, it's not uncommon to come back and find your boat whacked, unfortunately, or to be told that your boat's been hit. Yeah, it's something I wish didn't happen in the olden days, and I'd say the olden days, I'm not talking too many years ago. It was less common, even though there were more hire boats. This seems to be very much something, this hit and run culture seems to be very much more of the modern day, unfortunately. And sadly, it's not something that's really acknowledged by those responsible. I've heard words such as, oh, it is a contact sport, boating. No, it's not. It really isn't. Boats cost a lot of money, and repairs cost a lot of money. So if you do hit a boat and it's because of inexperience, mistake, we've done it, we've hit another boat in the past, put your hands up and just exchange details. That's what your insurance is for. And if you're a hirer, unfortunately, you know, you have to understand that you might protect your little bit of money, but the fact is you are actually master of that vessel while you're hiring it, and you have a responsibility for damage that's caused, unfortunately. So yeah, just if it does happen, just say I'm sorry, put your hands up, exchange details, get on, enjoy your holiday, enjoy your day out on the water. It's not normally the end of the world. Also, I can't recommend these pads enough either. These compounding brushes or pads are so much better quality than these cheap and cheerful Chinese imports. This gives a nice even push. It doesn't dig in on the corners, and as long as you keep the surface nice and clean, they do last an awful long time. Whereas, as you can see, I've done the same amount of work with this pad on my cheap and cheerful Chinese polisher, which actually is working quite well. I'm still on my first battery and it's light. It doesn't seem to be giving me any problems at all. Just a quickie, I tend to, when I'm doing this with a drill, put a slightly larger pad on than what the actual backing plate size is. It just gives it that flexibility to bend in the corners as well. Let's get on and get it done. As always, when you start polishing, you get towards the end of the day, especially this time of the year, and it starts to get damp. I've managed to give this side of the boat a cut. I haven't managed to polish it properly yet, but you can see what a difference that's made. You can probably see the shine on there now. It's coming back again. I'm pleased with that. That's a day's work. I really feel like it's been a day's work anyway, and just a little bit more polish when I get the opportunity to get the boat back onto an opposite mooring. Just having a look over what we've done on the starboard side. I've left a bit of polishing at the front there because I figured that's an easy bit to get to. I can do that another time, but I took the advantage of making sure that I got the port side cleaned because that was looking filthy. And as you can see there, what a difference that makes. Actually starts looking like a boat again. It's got to come out the water. We've got a bit of work to do, and I'll tell you about that shortly.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove, folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love.
It's been exactly 2 years since Friday night was last out of the water having some serious maintenance, and even I couldn't believe it's been that long. But this time, as well as just anti-fouling and the normal work that we'd have to do on the outdrives really did need stripping down, and we have some additional work to do with one of the steering helmets. In addition to that, 2 of the lifting rams have started leaking. We're hoping to get that work done as soon as possible, because looking forward to the season ahead, not only do we want to revisit some of the wonderful places that we visited before, now that we know that we can push northward, we'd also like to explore much further up the east coast. We've got some great plans for the year ahead, and we really want you to join us and be a part of every single journey. Here are just a few of the memories that have made our boating journey so good over the last few years.
Stop giving back. Honeysuckle, fresh cut grass. I could really use some stuff like that.
Persistent rain outside while the rest of the UK has been battered by snow and high winds. What a great day. It's warm, it's overcast, it's not sunny.
Talk to me and tell me all that you've seen, all the colors. Summer love. Memories washed in every shade of green and all the colors. Summer love. turquoise blue. Losing track of time with you. Another peach pie sunset view. Sleeping in the afternoon. No place to be and nothing to prove. That's sure something I could use. A cure for the air-conditioned room.